What's up, YouTube? This is your boy G Charlie from Whazzuptvsports. I just coming back with a little recap over the whole NFL and Shedeur late draft situation. I just want to talk about one thing that's in my mind to speak about. Before we get into that, I'm going to say hit the subscribe button, click the like button, and I really would appreciate that. Now, if you want to send a donation to the channel, because it is a new channel, help the old military vet out to keep the content coming, and that would be very thankful. I would be very thankful for any support you may give to the channel. But what's more important than that is that the NFL is trying to spin another narrative right now, right? Or their smear campaign, I believe, with these commentators on TV. See, when you get closer to the truth of what they're really doing, then they have to spin it again. And you get closer to it, then they have to spin it again. You get closer to it, to explain the truth to people, then they have to spin it again. Well, I'm gonna give you something that's gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna show you behind the scene, behind the strategy. I'm gonna show you what is really going on, right? Let's see if I can back this up a little bit. I'm just sitting out on my back lanai right now, enjoying the beautiful sky. Every evening we get a chance to watch the sky, the sun go down in my backyard here in sunny Florida. As you see, I got on my Prime hat. Just had to go ahead and put that on, because if you ain't supporting Prime Time right now, you're a person of color, then something's really wrong. You know what I'm going to say? This just came to me. So this got to be from the Spirit. It's got to be the Creator. Everyone go out and buy something. Put your funding in something for Prime. Now, this ain't about money. This is about a point that we're making, because right now we're trying to slap back. We're going to slap back at what the pros are trying to do. Because everything they're doing, if you notice, it surrounds money. Everything surrounds money with them. Everything is about the dollar. They believe, matter of fact, that they can control us with money. That's their fuel. That's their fuel. That they control everything on the narrative of money. So what we're going to do is let's work together as a people, right? Or as a supporter of Dion and Shedeur. And let's buy something, some type of gear. I don't care if it's Prime shoes. I don't care if it's a Prime hat. I don't care if it's Prime gear. I don't care if it's Prime shades. Let's buy something. Let's just really get together here, and let's buy something with the Prime brand or the Legendary brand, just to show our support. Just to show our support. Not because they need it, not because no one's not put me up to this. Again, it just came to my spirit. Let's buy something with the Prime brand and something with the Legendary brand. Whatever you could find online, wherever you can find it, on Amazon, wherever you can find it. Because what we want to do is give back to Shedeur, if we can, what was taken away from him. Now, like I know, they took $50 million. They robbed this man of nearly $50 million. Now, if you lose $5, another alone, 50 cents, most people start crying. If you lose $50, $500, most people lose their mind. This man didn't lose 50,000. This man didn't lose 500,000. He didn't lose $5 million. This young brother lost nearly $50 million. And I hate to say lost, because lost means you lost something. So let's change the word around. He was robbed for over $50 million for something that he worked for since a little boy. Since a little child, he's been working on his dream and succeeding in his dream. And when he did that at a level where he should have been drafted in the first round, they refused to do it. And they robbed him. That caused them to, NFL being them, GMs being them, to rob him of the opportunity that he could have made nearly $50 million. And they know this. They know this. Got to stop for a moment. Isn't that a beautiful sky behind me? Isn't that beautiful? Wow, that's beautiful. I'm about to get my wife to get some pictures. I mean, I don't think we see a red, look like this thing, look like a red sun going down. Well, right now I don't want to get off track here, but I am enjoying the lanai and the beautiful sky that's behind me. And I wasn't planning on recording anything, but I want to say this. Let's give back in any kind of way we can. Let's give back in any kind of way we can. I wish we can create a GoFundMe page. Can you create a GoFundMe page over something like this? I mean, this is racism. This is discrimination. This is violation. This is collusion. This is butt breaking, what they used back in the day. Not literal butt breaking, but figuratively speaking, this is a butt breaking method of trying to break Shedeur down from being legendary to being regular. See, butt breaking in slavery time, and a lot of y'all know about butt breaking that know about slavery. If you've been to college and learned anything about Black history, right? Get on social media, get on Google, pull up butt breaking. Butt breaking was something the slaves, these nasty, white, evil, wicked folk, these plantation owners, or the whole culture itself, right? During that time, that was, that was taking us through one of the most brutal histories we've ever been through in our life as a people. They would butt break a lot of the slaves. Oh, you don't believe that? Okay, so you don't believe that. I told you these are some wicked, 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 wicked people. Evil ain't got there's no way evil can be compared to these people. I want to say something, but I almost said something just then. The only thing that can be compared to these people when you do something like this, to be honest with you, is when you dead and gone. It's that bad. You wouldn't be missed if you was dead and gone. That's how bad this is. If a person passed away, you wouldn't even miss them. That's how evil these people are. My wife often say, when the older ones are dead and gone, it's these older ones, when these old wretched, when they're dead and gone, basically that's what she's saying. When they're dead and gone, when this group of people are dead and gone, this system will be dead and gone. Nobody will miss them. They're wicked, man. I mean, wicked, man. And they love it. They love it. Listen, as much as you love doing good and doing right and feeling and doing good by people, and you feel good about that, they feel good. They feel the same adrenaline effect for being wicked. They love it. They absolutely love it. Okay. If you look at the faces of the people in Cleveland when they chose him, you see the disgust on their face? Because they enjoyed laughing at him instead. They enjoyed the ideal of him being undrafted. They enjoyed the ideal of him not only falling to the 5th round, they wasn't going to draft this boy at all. And they was mad. They was mad that they had to draft him. They were mad. They got that call from the NFL, from the Good Old Boys Club, and said, we need to take this boy. Yeah, I know we decided. I know we all, worked together and we put a few things out there. We all made an agreement, allegedly. That's an interesting word. Not to take him. But we didn't know that he was going to fall out of the draft completely. So please, somebody take him. Somebody get him. Cleveland, take him. Get him. Please don't let him go undrafted, because we don't want to deal with the scrutiny of the world, of millions of people. Our brand, we're going to lose our brand image. And we may take a hit that's unrecoverable. We may take a hit. I'm losing ticket sales. We may take a hit, right, on the brand being sold. We may take a hit on our TV ratings. We may take a hit on these different things. I'll look at a beautiful dragonfly flying around my head here in the backyard. But we may take a hit, and we don't want to take that kind of hit. So we don't want to draft him. We really don't. But man, we almost messed ourselves up. Oh, they pulled it together. They couldn't believe they wanted to hurt Shedeur so bad that they almost caused a catastrophe for their brand. Y'all think I'm joking? Y'all think I'm lying? Y'all think I'm making this up, huh? See, when you think about what's going on behind the scene, if you're using any kind of common sense, then you can understand what's going on here, right? They say he got to prove himself. Prove himself to who? Prove himself for what? He's already done enough proving as it is, as far as proving himself enough to at least play in the NFL. You can't tell me right now. I probably could name 4 or 5 NFL players right now, quarterbacks that this boy is better than. And I keep saying boy, that's just a term I use. I got sons myself, you know what I mean? Come here, boy. You know, but they're grown men. They're young men. You know what I mean? So I got nephews and, you know, and stuff like that. So I have to say that, you know what I mean? And 2 stepsons. So I have to say that, you know, these are young men. You know, we're all boys. I'm a boy. You know, we know what I mean when we say boy. We're all males, you know, and essentially we all boys, right? So we become men, and the terminology is that we're young men, and then we'll, you know, young adults, what have you, and so we when we're talking like this, we tend to say just the boy word, right? But we'll say, for this sake, just because of what's going on, we'll say young man, right? So they're saying, you know what? We have to let this young man get in, because if we don't, man, we're gonna pay the price. We didn't think the response from the world was gonna be like this. We gotta stop this. So they didn't stop it because they wanted to. They didn't stop it. They didn't draft him because they wanted to. They wanted to put this boy in the fire. They wanted to keep this boy in the fire. They wanted to sabotage this boy's whole career. Everything Deion created and made in him, they wanted to kill it. Completely kill it. Completely destroy it. So if you think they want to let up on him, they didn't want to let up on him. And this has nothing to do with this gameplay. You commentators online, man, you make my stomach turn. You make my blood. You just as worse as them old NFL Candy, Mr. Candy acting. You know, when you look at the NFL, these commentators, you know what I mean? But they love it. They can't help it, man. They can't help it. They can't help it. Playing along with the game ain't going to change a thing. The NFL goal was to make Shedeur regular. They wanted to make him a Kunta Kinte. But his name wasn't going to be Kunta. His name, they wanted to make him, for better terms, we'll say regular. But he's legendary. He's not regular. He's legendary. No. Your name is regular. Y'all remember Kunta, the movie? What I say your name is, boy? Your name is regular, boy. And they hit him with the whip. Say regular. Every time they held him out. That boy took 144 lashes. He got drafted in the 5th round at 144th pick. That boy took 144 lashes on his back. I say, your name is regular, boy. My name is legendary. Your name is regular, boy. And he kept saying his name was legendary. He kept saying his name was legendary. And they kept whipping him. And they felt like, well, if we don't stop whipping him now, we're going to mess around and kill him. We're going to mess around and kill Kunta. We're going to mess around and kill Legendary. We're going to mess around and kill him. If he ain't going to say his name is regular. See, they wanted him to be regular. Regular. You can't be legendary. Kunta like, that's not my name. That's not my name. My name is not Kunta. Kunta, boy. Oh, man. Sad movie, man. Go ahead and watch the movie Roots, man. Watch the movie. You'll see it. They want to change Shedeur to be regular. That's what they want. They want the young man to be regular. And the young man is not regular. His name is Legendary. That's the name he called himself, Legendary. And they don't like that name. They want to beat out of him everything he thought he was. And then prove to them that he has become this new person. So all this crap, this jughead, non-colored commentator talking about on this, man, I wish I could think of the YouTube channel. I'm so sick of him talking about what he need to prove, what he need to prove, where he need to prove, where he need to prove, where he need to prove. And a lot of you other snowballs. The man don't have to prove anything but be great. Go and be legendary. But instead they say he has to prove who he really is now that we've stripped him down to the 5th round. In other words, we have stripped the legendary out of him. You know, they used to say that about us as slaves, our ancestors. They used to have a little talk amongst themselves, they being you know who's, the same ones who's doing this to Shedeur. That we want to act like we don't know what's really going on. This ain't got nothing to do with football. This ain't got nothing to do with interviews. This ain't got nothing to do with his resume. This ain't got nothing to do with that. This has to be, we got to strip this boy down. We got to make this boy regular. His name is regular, not legendary. And until he say this name regular, we ain't going to give him an opportunity. Oh, we'll draft him only because we need to save our brand. Because this could have been a backlash. This thing was getting out of control. Millions of people were starting to speak up. And, oh, we had to stop this. We had to stop this. Please, Cleveland, go ahead and pick him up. I know you don't want him. I know the plan was not to take him at all. I knew, but I thought by now he'll have been said regular. But he won't say the Kunta name. He's still saying legendary. But if we don't stop, we're going to end up killing our brand. Oh, y'all didn't know that. That's why they drafted him, right? Oh, y'all didn't know they had a plan not to draft him at all, huh? Oh, y'all didn't know that. How do I know? Didn't nobody tell me. When you're dealing with these kind of people, these kind of white folk, these evil, wicked, narcissistic white folk who's using the same system over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? You can be a dummy to believe it, or you can act like you got some common sense that the Creator gave you. It's clear to see. It's clear to see. The boy don't have to prove anything. Half of these NFL players that's talking right now, they're going to try to equate this to football because they want you to believe that this has to do with football. This has nothing to do with football. Oh, he just need to work harder. Oh, he just need to, prove himself when he get a chance and get an opportunity. If he get a little chance. This man's supposed to be drafted in the top 1st round, competing on a field on someone's team, talking about how to lead the team to a playoff or a championship someday. Instead, he's all the way down in the bottom, in the muck, in the mud, having to prove himself. See, it's reverse psychology. It's gaslighting. All these commentators on TV, they gaslighting. And it's nothing, like I said, seeing these snowballs out of all people, these so-called black brothers, that's snowballing him worse than these white folk. They're being paid to. They're being paid to. Oh, my goodness, man. Oh, Jesus. Jesus be with me. Help me, Most High. How can I say this? The first plan that they had was to drop this boy down in the draft. Period. Drop him down in the draft. That's the first plan. Why? They want to strip him of his legendary title. They want to make him regular. They want to make Kunta regular. See, their daddy They learned that they can't give him a big contract first and then do that. They have to strip him first. That's why this is so wicked. This is so evil. This is wicked, man. This is some wicked stuff right here. See, they gave Deion a big contract first, right? But they didn't know that prime time was going to come bigger than the NFL. And that's what they don't want. They don't want another brand that can become bigger than them. So Shedeur been working on his brand. He's legendary. And they said, oh, no. Well, no. They talking to each other. Yeah, boy. The young man coming in like prime time. He called himself legendary, and we can't have that. What you got to say about that? What you think about that, Mr. Candy? What you think about it? I don't like it one bit. I don't know who the young ninja think he is. He's acting like his daddy, Big Ninja. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have to strip him of that. We're going to have to make him Kunta Kinte, and we're gonna have to change his name from legendary to regular, and we're gonna whip him. We're gonna whip him all the way down to 144, 144 whips on his back. He'll be drafted at a number 144, if that, until he say the name regular. Until we see that he's a regular ninja, and then we may take him. And even if we do take him, we then gonna make it where he gotta still. He has to prove himself now. Well, not a bad idea there. Well, Mr. Candy, not a bad idea. If we drop him down to, the 5th round, I thought we made an agreement not to draft him at all, so that we don't have to even deal with this character. How did he do on his resume in this interview? Oh, honestly, it doesn't matter about a resume interview with this boy, because this boy can outright play. He's the best thing we've ever seen since his dad. So as a quarterback, next to Brady, he can succeed on that level. So it's not a doubt about his play. It hasn't anything to do with the resume. But we done paid a lot of snowballs to spin it and to say that it's that when it's not. Don't worry, you'll see who all the snowballs are once we whip him with 144 lashes and drop him down to maybe the 5th round, if that. These old, rotten, nasty. Oh, y'all think I'm joking. Y'all think I'm playing. Oh, they really had this talk. They really had this talk. And they were salivating when it was happening. When it was really happening and he was falling, when they were whipping him, they were all celebrating. Remember how they used to bring the slaves out and hang them on the tree? And they used to look at the slaves and they used to marvel at seeing a slave being burnt slowly to death. It was a slow death. They enjoy it when it's a long, hurtful, unbelievable pain. They love it. That's how they felt about Shedeur. And I know y'all think I'm just going overboard, but I'm not, because that's exactly what they were doing. Now, see, in slavery time, they outright did this and really did this. Now we're in the modern time, they still doing it, but in a different way. In a more modern way, but it's still slavery. They still trying to butt break the boy. They trying to change his name from legendary to regular. They're doing the same stuff that they did back then. And they still laugh behind closed doors. And they had their children watching and laughing. They even had their children calling him on the phone, pranking him and acting like he was getting a call from the pros. That was no accident, and that was not unintentional. How do you know that, J'Challa? Because in the whole entire history of the NFL, that's never happened before. So it's not unintentional. If it was unintentional, it would have been happened years ago. It's never happened in the history of the NFL where a person got a prank call that we know of. But all of a sudden in 2025, primetime son named Legendary gets a prank call. And it was unintentional. Let me get this right. You guys planned to drop him down, allegedly colluded to bring him down to the 5th round, or not draft him at all, or hold him out completely. Okay? You guys all came together in 2025 when this happened, because it's never happened in history before. But also, a football coach's son allegedly get his laptop, get Shedeur's number, call him acting like he has a draft offer, and all of it was unintentional. He just so happened to do it this year when you guys was also planning allegedly to strip this boy $50 million of earnings he could have earned in the first round draft pick, and maybe being able to be legendary and be great and not have to be butt broken to prove himself from the mud back to the top, which may take him 4 or 5 years. So he's wasted 4 or 5 years that even if you do get a chance to start and play for Cleveland, which is almost like between a rock and extremely hard place, no matter how good he is, because you guys had a plan, or Cleveland had a plan not to draft him anyhow. Remember I told you it has nothing to do with him proving himself? Absolutely nothing to do with him proving himself. So what if he do prove himself in Cleveland when it has nothing to do with him proving himself? See, it's gaslighting, just spinning this narrative. They bought that boy to Cleveland when they didn't want to bring him there. NFL made them. It's truly my belief. It's my opinion. The NFL forced Cleveland because they saw the outrage. They saw the magnitude of so many people that was getting behind this, and they was afraid that they was going to lose. The stock market's going to fall, and their brand was going to take a hit. What brand? The Candyland brand. So they bought him in, not wanting to have him in. Have you ever dated somebody that know that you don't want to be with them, but you with them for different reasons and different motives, but they know you're not really with them because you want to be with them? Have you ever been in a situation where you was part of something that you know somebody didn't want you to be a part of, but for their own gain, they're having to deal with you? It has nothing to do with you. Well, right now, Cleveland they did draft Shedeur, but it has nothing to do with Shedeur. It has nothing to do with him proving himself. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. It simply have to do with saving Candyland, Mr. Candy, right? Those wicked, nasty, stink, wrinkled NFL GMs and so forth and so on. Yes, you are that if you're the ones who have agreed allegedly to do this to this young man. And we say allegedly, but we see that it happened to him, that he went in the 5th round, right? So what do you call that? Did that just happen by mistake? Or is that allegedly? The writing is on the wall. That couldn't happen without NFL influence. My opinion. Oh my goodness. So what am I saying? This is what I'm saying, people. Let me help y'all out so I can end this. If the plan was never to draft Shedeur, and that truly was the plan, right? And they took him at Cleveland when they didn't want to take him at Cleveland, which means he probably when they got picked up. We know that most quarterbacks, if you don't get drafted in the first 2 rounds, they don't take quarterbacks in the NFL draft after the 2nd round, because they want to get the quarterbacks off the board first before they start spending money anywhere else for any other player positions. So in the 3rd round, they still did something that was unusual. They selected Gabriel in the 3rd round, which was also highly unlikely, but they did take Gabriel in the 3rd round. Remember, usually after the 2nd, that doesn't happen. So when the NFL saw that Cleveland was taking a stand, that Cleveland was not going to even draft Shedeur, especially by the 3rd round, they knew that Shedeur was not going to be drafted. He slid from the 4th to the 5th for a quarterback. They knew he wasn't going to be drafted. This boy would have probably had to do a walk-on or a tryout, right, for a team. And that's even below 6th, 7th round, right? So being that he was selected in the 5th round, then what could the plan be if they really didn't want him anyhow and they wasn't going to draft him anyhow? We know the number one plan is to save the brand. The NFL trying to save their face. But we ain't going to let them save their face, because we're going to do something about it as fans. And we're going to do something about it as a people. And I'm going to share what that's going to be on my next video. Oh, we got something coming for you. You want to do this to this brother. You want to do this to this young man. You want to do this to one of ours. when we put our money into your hand, when we watch your football games, when we come to your stadiums, when we are the one that make your brand what it is, you don't think we have power. You don't think, you think you the only one have power. Oh, that's what that is. So you thought you can do this to one of our children, and we don't do anything else about it. Or you don't think we can do anything else about it. Because your plan was not to draft him anyhow. The only reason why you did was to save your brand. So that means you really didn't want him. You still didn't want him. You still don't want him. So now what you want to do is put your foot on his neck and say, okay, well, he got to prove himself. So that becomes the excuse for you not letting him play, which you didn't want to let him play anyhow because you wasn't going to draft him. So then you bring him in and then you make him prove himself, which he'll never be able to do because he's already that. So why should he have to prove what he already is? Because that means you have another agenda. And that other agenda is to say that he didn't prove himself. So that becomes the reason why he don't play, so that you won't be blamed for him not playing and that you can blame him for not being able to prove himself. See, all this wicked, evil mind game is what racist white people do. How do I know? Because it was done to me when I was in the military. The exact same thing was done to me. When you don't have anything to prove, then what are you proving? They just want to use it as an excuse to give you something to do, to give you something to work on, so that when it comes time for them to do what they're going to do anyhow, which I truly believe, what's getting ready to start for this brother, what's getting ready to happen is I don't want to believe it, but I really believe that this has nothing to do with them trying to give him an opportunity or a chance to be successful as an NFL football player or quarterback. I believe this is truly to start taking out on him on an ongoing basis. Right? Just for better terms, better words, they want to do this to him slowly. They want him to beg, and they ain't gonna get no satisfaction out of that, even when he begs. Him begging is going to be just pleasing to their spirit, to their soul, to who they are, whatever soul that is. Their soul ain't a creator, the soul of the creator. See, the devil feel like they got him where they want him at. That they can make him work for nothing, make him work for free. You know, $50,000 that he got is like working for free. He got to wake up, go to practice, do everything else all these other football players do. Have curfews. It's a lot that go into these pros and the things that they do. He has to practice. He has to show up. He has to be available. He has to keep the second team going, the third team, I don't know what, the fourth team or what have you. Every team but the first team. And to keep them ready to go, right? Like what we call in our time a do boy, a bag boy, right? They're minimizing him down from being an elite, possibly starting quarterback, to being a bag boy, a beggar. That's how they're going to try to treat him. So proving himself means, how much are you willing to kiss my? And as much as you kiss my, you still may not get a chance. You can beg all you want. Because if I don't like you, I don't like you. And it ain't nothing you could do to change that. I hope I'm wrong, but I believe I'm right. I believe I'm right. I hope I'm wrong. That his greatness, his legendariness, his greatness can still overcome what they're about to do to this boy. See, they want to make a mockery. They ain't finished yet. Remember, if Cleveland really wanted him or was celebrating because they really wanted him, then I would say, you know what? Maybe they really do. They really did want him. But I can't say that because they didn't show that on their face. What they showed on their face was something totally different. So that meant maybe they're going to try to make this boy work for free, which we already know that's what he's going to be doing, because $50,000 ain't nothing. This boy is working for free. This young man, excuse my language. I'm not going to use the language we use when we're in the hood saying, what's up, boy, whatever. I'm going to take that out of the narrative because right now, out of my mouth, the term, because right now, That's how they're trying to treat him, like a slavery boy, right? So it's getting dark. I'm about to fade out here, so I'm going to end my YouTube channel. I'm going to say this. We're going to come together. We're going to do something about it. Yeah, we're going to do something about it. This ain't Shedeur doing. This is not Shedeur Sanders doing. This is the fans doing. This is the fans doing. This is our doing. Something that we can do just a little bit, even if it's a little bit, to take back from them what they've taken away from him. Shedeur, meanwhile, if you can muster it up enough to understand what's really going on, that they're trying to make you a beggar. Proving yourself. Whenever you hear that word, you have to prove yourself. You don't ever want to hear that word. I don't care what nobody tell you. I don't care what nobody tell you. I was told the same thing in the military by a group of racist individuals. And I never could prove myself. I was never good enough. I was better than every soldier on the base. I ran faster. I did more push-ups, more sit-ups. I went through more courses. I did all the stuff you can think of. My record, as far as my resume, my uniform was loaded. And a person can come and have half as that, and they gave them the opportunity ahead of me. I could never, ever prove myself. I hope that that's not going to happen to you. I really hope that. But anytime I hear that word, you now have to prove yourself when something is taken away from you that you rightfully already earned and did enough to do to at least earn that level of respect as being a first-round draft pick, and then they drop you to the 5th round and then tell you still have to prove yourself. That's not a good sign. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, right? You got to know the tricks that these devils are playing. Keep that in mind, right? But right now, you have to dig in deep. You know what I mean? Dig in deep. After so many years, I was able to, my first sergeant came and sent me overseas. He got me out of that company. I was in that company for 3 years, that military company. He got me the HE double hockey sticks out of there because he knew it was never going to change for me, right? He knew, right? Prime knows what they're trying to do to you. Your dad knows when they say prove yourself. It's nothing like having to prove yourself when there's nothing to prove. I keep saying this. You're beyond proving yourself in that way. You could prove yourself to become a better football player, to become the pro that you are now, right? But that's different. That's like Cam Ward has to still prove, has to learn the playbook, right? Every player in the pros that's coming to pros got to prove himself to be on that level. But that's not what they're saying to you. When they say prove yourself, they're talking about something different, brother. It's something totally different. But they're going to use the football play, right, as reverse psychology to make you think that that's what they're talking about. But that is not what they're talking about. They want to prove to them that you're willing to work for nothing, work pretty much for free, help to make Cleveland a lot of money, help to keep the other players ready to go as a quarterback, right, and keep moving the goalposts on you. Every time you think you can play, they move the goalposts on you. They want you to prove that you can get through this process with them treating you that way for the next however many years you on contract with them. Don't be surprised. Listen, this is What's Up TV Sports. These mosquitoes are getting me. They pig like birds down here in Florida. I know you can't see my face. I hate recording like this, but I had to get this out. Hey, this is What's Up TV Sports, and I'll be back with you with some things that I'm going to be talking about. Maybe we could come together to show the NFL that not only we don't agree with what they did to Shedeur, we don't want them to think that they could do this to other players, and because next year it may be your son. So we want to send a message to them as fans that although the players may have minimum power, right, to some degree, but we as fans, we do have power. And it's called the power of the dollar and the power of viewings and watching and ratings. G. Charlie will explain that to you when I have my next channel content ready to go, and I will explain all of that to you. This one here was just one that I did that I wasn't planning on doing, but I got tired of hearing people say that Shedeur have to prove itself. When racism is involved and you hear prove yourself, it just gets worse after that. It gets worse. Usually, proving yourself is even worse than actually being treated bad, because now you're going to basically be doing things as they keep moving the goalposts to try to win them over, and the goalpost just keeps moving, and you haven't proven yourself enough. And it gets draining and debilitating, and then outright as a man, it does something to you. It's like you begin to beg these people just to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Anyways, this is What's Up TV Sports, and we're out.